Cannabis is a key.
To get you unlocking that
We
information.
have an endocannabinoid system in our body for a reason. It's the system that restores us back to a state of equilibrium or balance or divine union. It's like the master control system of all systems. So when you imbibe cannabis with an intention to check in, to feel and heal, you can uproot all the sources of imbalance, so that your endocannabinoid system that's working in the background to restore balance can move you closer and closer to that permanent state of equilibrium, balance, or divine union. So for those of you with cannabis, go ahead and bring your cannabis.
One more thing before
One
you
more
go.
thing? Okay.
If at any point in time, folks, because you've never imbibed cannabis, for those of you who have, for those of you who don't have cannabis, just go through the motion. You don't necessarily have it. Angela, I know you're still struggling to find some, so it's okay. Just go through the motions of where we're guiding you as though you have cannabis.
Connect to her higher self.
If for any reason anxiety or fear shows up, because this is a very, very potent way to imbibe cannabis.
She reveals you to you. So she will reveal to you your current nervous system state. So if you're going to go deep in the ceremony and you're going to meet some pain, some traumas, that fear may show up when you start imbibing her. So just come back to your breath. We're going to be guiding you through the entire process. If it's arising throughout the ceremony, come back to your breath, whatever the container is that we provide you with. Just remember, how was I breathing before? Okay, inhale, hold, exhale. Just come back to your breath.
And I'll pop in every once in a while to remind you how
Little
to
reminders.
be breathing. So don't worry about it. You'll always hear my voice. We will take a break, and after the break, we will switch sides, and I will continue the reading while Shelly plays the musical instrument. So go ahead, my love.
Ready to begin? So for those of you with cannabis, bring it in between the palms of your hands and hold her at your belly button. Seated in whatever seated position you desire. Close your eyes, connect to your breath. Nice, long, slow inhales through your nose. Nice, long, slow exhales through your nose. Keep your tongue connected to the roof of your mouth, uniting the masculine yang channel that flows up the back of your body with the yin feminine channel flowing down the front of your body, the roof of your mouth being the bridge that connects the two. Slow inhales, slow exhales as you drop into your safe and sacred space that you've created for yourself for this evening's book reading ceremony. Envision your golden grounding cord extending from Mother Earth's womb, up through your womb or Hara for the men, up through your heart, up through your third eye, out your crown, flowing up through Father Sun, Galactic Sun, and anchoring into the cosmic womb of the Divine Mother. And on your next exhale, squeeze your pelvic floor around your golden grounding cord, squeezing out some of its infinite golden light, sending it down your arms, through a portal in the center of your palms, activating your golden infinity symbol, flowing from palm to palm, and through your sacred medicine. Slowly inhaling, slowly exhaling, flowing in your own rhythm. Inhaling Shakti, your life force, up your golden grounding cord from Mother Earth's womb, down your golden grounding cord from the cosmic womb. When you exhale, squeeze your pelvic floor and send this life force from both of your mothers down your arms through your golden infinity symbol and into cannabis, restoring her to her highest frequency and invoking her higher self so she can guide you home to your higher self. Slowly inhaling, flowing in your own rhythm, feeling your body inflating like a balloon. Feeling your belly button pushing out against your pipe, your bong, your hands. When you exhale and squeeze your pelvic floor, Hum. Feel the vibration of your hum carrying that life force from both mothers down your arms through your golden infinity symbol and into cannabis. And as you continue flowing in your own rhythm, begin to ask the higher self of cannabis permission to imbibe her for this evening's sacred ceremony. Allowing her to give you permission however she communicates it with you. If you don't feel, see, hear, smell, receive in a way that you expect to, let go and just honor that in you asking her permission. She jumps up and down with joy and says, yes, I give you permission because you're revering her as a... Once she has given you permission, as you continue to flow in your own rhythm, slow inhales, slow exhales, squeezing your pelvic floor and humming, ask your mind, body, and soul permission to receive the divine guidance from cannabis, to receive your reflection that she holds up for you in her mirror, trusting that wherever she guides you is exactly where you need to go, exactly what you need to feel, because that's what your soul came here to heal. And then once you have given her permission, on one of your next inhales, inhale permission from cannabis through your golden infinity symbol, up your arms into your heart, down into your womb or hara, up into your third eye. And when you exhale, squeeze your pelvic floor like a pump, pushing your permission up from your womb or hara, down from your third eye to your heart, down your arms, through your golden infinity symbol to cannabis. Feeling the sacred exchange, and you and her. And then once you've exchanged permission, on your next inhale, inhale gratitude for Mother Earth for giving birth to your sacred medicine. As you lower your sacred medicine down to Mother Earth, feel your body inflating like a balloon, filling with gratitude. When you exhale, squeeze your pelvic floor and hum, sending your sacred offering of gratitude down your golden grounding cord into Mother Earth's womb. Om Namah Shakti Ma, Om Namah Shakti Ma, Om Namah Shakti Ma. And then inhale, lift your sacred medicine up to your divine parents. Inhale and fill your body with gratitude for them for giving birth to your higher self, along with the higher self of cannabis. When you exhale, squeeze your pelvic floor and hum. Send your sacred offering of gratitude up your golden grounding cord, flowing through Father, Son, the galactic sun, into the cosmic womb. Om Namah Shakti Shivaya. Om Namah Shakti Shivaya. Om Namah Shakti Shivaya. And then bring your sacred medicine down to your heart as you inhale gratitude along with your intention for this evening's ceremony into your heart. Feel your heart expanding, pushing out against your ribs, your sternum, your spine. When you exhale, squeeze your pelvic floor, hum and smile as you sound out your sacred offering of gratitude and intention from your heart to your sacred medicine. Om Mani Padme Om. Om is the way home. And then bring your sacred medicine to your mouth. Speak, sing, chant, hum, express your sacred offering of gratitude along with your intention so that Mama Cannabis can hear the frequency of your voice so she knows exactly where to guide you to transmute those lower frequencies that are disrupting or creating static in your connection with your higher self. Om. Om is the way home.
Now sit in an upright position. Cross your legs wherever it is that you're comfortable, making sure that the spine is straight. And as you bring your cannabis up to your lips, apply the fire to the cannabis and slowly, ever so slowly, start inhaling the cannabis as though it's the sweetest thing that you've ever tasted and you don't want to rush the feeling. Let it fill your stomach completely. And once you've inhaled and filled the stomach completely, put down your pipe and your lighter and just sit with the cannabis. Let your body rotate around, close your eyes, and just check in. Just do rotations, one direction, the other. Just check into your pain body. See where it is, meet whatever limitations that's there without any judgment. Just meet it. When you cannot hold the cannabis anymore, don't rush it, just sigh it as an offering of your pain body. Sigh it out, and let it go. When you're ready, do the same thing again. Imbibe slowly, filling the stomach in different sections. Lower stomach, upper stomach, chest, throat, head. Put the cannabis down. Tongue in the mouth, keep the eyes closed, and just rotate. Rotate in one direction, rotate to the other, lean forward, lean back. Just check into the body while you're holding the breath. Don't worry, you can be okay. Hold the breath. If you cough, please slap your chest really hard. Knock all the loose phlegm and all the toxins in our bodies, knock it out. Don't try to suppress the cough.
In ancient times, cannabis was known as one of the best expectorants to expel mucus. She literally goes in and lights up the armor that we need to let go of. So she burns it away and then we can cough and tap it out.
So go ahead and imbibe a third time if you so wish. If you don't and you want to stop right here, that's okay. At any time during book reading, as we're taking you through, go ahead and imbibe while I'm speaking. So at any time in the book reading, while we're taking you through different portals, if you feel the need to get up and have some water, if you feel the need to get up and have some more cannabis, please, you don't need our permission, imbibe. If you're okay where you are.
Remember, if you imbibe more, she is going to ask you for a stronger masculine container for all that Shakti you'll be waking up.
Now.
Also, one more thing.
Yeah.
Remember to set your new intention, whatever it is that you're dancing with, whatever you want to go deeper into before imbibing her again. Just let her know, okay, thank you for carrying me deeper into
whatever.
Fill in the blank. Thank you for helping me feel, fill in the blank. Thank you for guiding me to the clarity of fill in the blank.
Since you're talking.
Yes, my love.
One more bit of instructions, folks.
Our sacred recalibration and restructuring ritual throughout the ceremony. If at any point you choose to nourish your body with water, tea, juice, whatever you're choosing to nourish your body with, pause. Hold that liquid in your mouth. Bring all of your Shiva, your mental awareness into your mouth. Be with it. Feel it. Taste it. What does it smell like? What does it look like? Swish it around with your tongue. Can you hear it swishing around in your mouth? And then check in. What is your higher I am frequency that you desire to recalibrate it to? If you are transmuting fear, since we're going to be diving deep into the fear versus love timeline, then hum the higher frequency of love into that liquid. Visualize its molecular structure restructuring into the most beautiful sacred geometrical pattern that is in alignment with that higher I am frequency. And then when you swallow it, visualize and feel it flowing through your body's sacred waters, recalibrating them to your higher I am frequency.
So, my love, would you please?
Yes.
So here is your first challenge, folks. We're going to guide you into your body today. So we're going to challenge you to be able to listen to two sets of information coming at you at the same time. You are quite capable of it. Trust me, you can. So as Shelley guides you into a position to go in so that you can meet your body and your breath, I'm going to start sharing some information about where we are right now, what this timeline shift is, and this is where we are going to go into the chapter in the book in
The timeline splits.
discussing what's going on in the timeline split, where we are in it, what's coming, what's currently happening. So for those of you who this might be just overwhelming for you, please feel into that fear.
You gotta feel it to heal it. Never forget that.
I am going to be speaking about things that may arise emotions in you, because here is where we are in humanity.
So go ahead and assume child's pose. You're gonna come face down, big toes touching, knees open either at shoulder width apart or open them a little wider. You check in and find how far you desire to open your knees.
Now,
Demonstrate it for those of you who don't know. Child's pose.
as she's demonstrating,
Big toes are together, knees open. You can relax on your forearms. You can eventually walk your way all the way out to your arms extended in front of you. So you can either choose to hang out here or all the way down with your third eye and heart connected to Mother Earth.
so part of this awakening, as you're sitting in that pose,
Slowly inhaling, feeling your body inflating like a balloon, and slowly exhaling, feeling your body inflating like a balloon as you drop deeper into whatever feelings, whatever pain, restrictions, limitations, emotions arise. Just direct your breath all the way down to your pelvis. Feel your pelvic floor lowering. When you exhale, just let go. Drop deeper in the position as you continue to listen.
so we are all here because at some point in time, you ask us to be here. Before your soul took consciousness into this reality, you made contracts with us to come and help you remember how to heal yourself. You are your own gurus. You are your own shamans. You are your own healers. You don't need anybody. You are it. Nobody's coming to save you. Where we are in the timeline split right now is we are at every decision that we currently make, be it good or bad is a duality word, but be it good for your for your benefit and your consciousness, or not so good,
Or in alignment with your higher self, or not.
your
That's what it comes
everything
down to.
is going to be magnified right now. We are in a 12,000 year solar cycle. Our ionosphere is very weak, and we are in a solar maximum. So for the next 24 months, well, 22 months now,
Continue to breathe.
what's going to happen is that the solar storms are going to affect us. Science is telling us this.
Slowly inflating
These solar
your
storms are
body
affecting
like
our
a
heart rate.
balloon.
The Schumann resonance is off the scale, which affects who we are as human beings.
Slowly exhaling.
It's
deflating
affecting our
your body
emotions. It's affecting
like
our
a
blood.
balloon.
And it's affecting even the B12 in our bodies. Science tells us this. So what does that all translate to mean? It means that every emotion that you're staying in during the day,
Breathe into your pelvic floor.
that is what's being imprinted into your consciousness.
The home of survival fears.
So if you want to birth a new earth, a new version of you, you need to raise your frequency to match that of the version you want to be.
When you inhale, feel your womb or hara pushing out against all walls of your pelvis.
So from here on in, every decision we make, we have to become super conscious of it. Is
Exhaling,
this
letting go.
for my higher self, or is this for my trauma self? How do we know? All we have to do is recall feelings of what feeling good feels like. Joy, happiness, a birthday, getting a gift. Those are your higher consciousness feelings. Trauma feelings, fear, anxiety, confusion. The list goes on and on.
Denial, escapism, avoidance.
All of it.
Defense systems, coping mechanisms. Continue to breathe, dropping deeper in your child's pose.
So Shelley and I spent the night, we went to bed about 1:30.
We stayed up for the lunar
We
eclipse.
stayed, but we only got to see a little piece of it, and we missed the red moon.
It needed about another hour, and we were like, let's go to bed, and if we're awake in an hour, we'll go back out. And well,
We never
sure
made it.
enough, once we laid down, yeah.
We were in ceremony from about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because it was her sacred secretion. So I was working on her body she worked on my body first, and then I worked on hers from about 4 o'clock in the afternoon till about 1 a.m. this morning.
Whew, you popped me
So-
through some portals, my love. Wow.
This moon that we're still in the energy of has been written about for thousands of years. This is not happenchance. The Vedas, which is the oldest written knowledge of the planetary system in the world, goes back thousands of years. Science is now trying to catch up with what these things have talked about. They have predicted this red moon. It comes in a time of change. And in case you guys have not noticed, open your eyes and all you see is change around you.
Destruction of the old.
We have been asleep for too long. So this plant was left for us to help remember how to come back awake to our higher consciousness. No matter how much ayahuasca you take and psilocybin and whatever psychedelics you take, always remember something. If you are not going into the body, if you are not meeting your pain body, which is your gateway to your higher consciousness,
Well, as I like to put it, to come home to alignment or our wholeness, our mind, body, and soul have to be united in highest frequency. So in our lower state of consciousness, and continue to breathe. If you desire, go ahead and begin to squeeze your pelvic floor on the exhales, using the squeezing of your pelvic floor to drop deeper in the child's pose. Lengthen your arms out in front of you more. Feel your ancestors grabbing onto your wrist and lengthening your arms, stretching you out of your pain body into your light body, out of your trauma self into your higher self. And doing the uncomfortableness of stretching through that and squeezing out the pain shifts you out of your reptilian brain, home of fight, flight, freeze, into your midbrain and then your higher brain. Midbrain being the bridge between your reptilian brain and your higher brain or divine mind, which neuroscience proves that how do we grow our midbrain? We have to do
meet
the
our
uncomfortable.
pain body. We have to do uncomfortable. Science proves this, folks. This is not hairy-fairy stuff. When we move out of our reptilian brain, which is where 99.9% of humanity lives, we are in fight, flight, or freeze all the time. We are not enjoying life. We are
Not
literally
present.
like wild animals. We're hyper speeding. We breathe between 15 to 19 times in 1 minute. That's hyper. If you become aware of your breath, you'll realize that you're not breathing. You're hyper.
Only the top
Ventilating.
third of our lungs actually breathes. The lower 2/3 are stuck.
So
frozen.
that's why we are so easily triggered and traumatized. That's why we give warnings. Now, where we are in the split, and this is what the reading is about tonight. That red moon last night signifies change. According to Vedic astrology, which is written over 2,500 years ago, when that moon shows up, there are major change that's going to happen to the planet.
Continue to breathe, inhaling. You can hold your breath at the top. Feel the fullness of your breath. Meet your limitations. Can you inhale more? When you exhale, squeeze your pelvic floor. Drop deeper into the pose. Inhale, hold. Exhale, squeeze.
So we are where we are in the split today. We don't have time to kick the can down the road and say, maybe I will heal tomorrow. Maybe I might want to invite my loved one when they're ready. The opportunity that's presented to you right now, according to Vedic astrology, which is again over 2,500 years old, says that everything we need to be healed has to be healing right now. So if you care about people, you want to invite them to do the healing now. We're not saying that they have to do hours, but do some kind of healing now. You don't have time. If you truly cared about people, you'll get over your fears and your embarrassment to tell people that you're doing cannabis and healing or whatever trauma that you're living with. Get over it quickly, because what's coming next is going to literally split this whole world apart. What's happening and what we are being shown is there are two earths that are literally living within each other. One is 6,000 years old. That's the devolution that we're experiencing in the world right now. And the other one, which is over 410 billion years old, who has gone through this process so many times. As a matter of fact, every 12,000 years. Think the last ice age. So we are there again now. So, because of the solar flares that are coming in,
That gives us an advantage.
we have the opportunity to heighten our awareness and our consciousness and heal. But we're not just healing for us. We got to always remember this. We are healing, we are doing something that our ancestors created us to do.
Trusted us to do.
We are the
Chose
ones
us
that
to
they
do.
were waiting for. We are here now. We got to wake up.
We're the ancestor that created our lineage with the exact traumas and wounds we inherited from our lineage, because that's what our souls signed up to come and heal exactly at this time.
So, as the split is happening, all we have to do is open our eyes and look around us. Something major is coming. On the 29th of March, while we're having that solar eclipse, there are 2 eclipses this month. This is powerful, people. You've got to understand
We've been feeling
this.
the energies coming in.
This is,
Continue to
everything is being affected on the
breathe.
planet right now.
Meet your edges, meet your limitations, hold longer, challenge yourself to slow down your inhales and exhales longer, squeezing on the exhales.
Everything that we're experiencing right now is about to go into hyperspeed. According to Vedic astrology, on March 29th, there are 6 planets that are perfectly lined up between us and the sun. Every one of those planets are going to bring some kind of change. The power that that lineup has is going to knock us off our feet. So something's coming. And again, no fear. I'm just repeating what Vedic astrology is telling the world. According to Vedic astrology, but after the 29th, within a 90-day window, something catastrophic is going to happen to the planet. Because we are in now the sign of Pisces, according to the real Vedic astrology. So we're not in Aquarius, we're actually in Pisces. So
That's part of the illusion as well.
Whatever
of the false matrix.
change is coming because of this lineup of planets, it's going to be in the form of water. So expect either a major tsunami, a major 9.0 earthquake, a volcano, which there are 7 super volcanoes currently active with a 95% chance of going off as we speak while the planet is asleep. Everybody's asleep. There's 100 volcanoes on this planet awake right now.
Well, and that's the macro. The micro are the inner suppressed emotions that are erupting within you. So these eclipses bring in lots of energies, higher frequency energies that cause the eruption of the lower frequencies that are stuck. So all those lower emotions, all the trauma selves, the pain body, all the different ascension symptoms, injuries that you create, those are messages from your higher self to bring your awareness to that part of your body. It's like your body created that. It's crying out for your attention.
So thank you, love. As my wife just pointed out to you, and she made a very good point. Thank you for that point.
Slowly after your next exhale, hold. So during your next exhale, while you're exhaling, go into it and hold at the bottom. Hold your breath, hold the squeeze, drop deeper into the position. While you're holding, you can swallow, which massages your vagus nerve, quieting that fear voice that arises saying you can't keep holding, you need to inhale, you're gonna die. Conquer that voice by squeezing, moving, swallowing. And once you have allowed your body to breathe, you breathe into all that newfound space, slowly rise, hydrate if you need the restroom. We're gonna switch up positions as you continue sharing.
Sure.
And what were you gonna say?
So, after the 29th, within a 90-day window, what Vedic astrology is saying is something major is going to happen to the planet. It's either going to be, like we said, it's a tsunami, volcano that'll cause the tsunami, or something major is coming to the planet. It could potentially be a war, an eruption. We know that there are two major conflicts right now. One of them could erupt within that 90-day period. One of these supervolcanoes has the potential of going off. So
massive solar flare.
there is also the possibility of a massive solar flare that we're going to be hit by.
A gift from Father Sun.
So right now, humanity faces, while humanity is asleep, we face 5 human extinction events lining up right now. So this is the split. This is the timeline split we're in the middle of now. According to Dolores Cannon's work, there is going to be a break where some souls make the split and some remain in the devolving 6,000-year planet that's literally being pulled apart.
The death of Mother Earth and the rebirth of Mother Earth.
She's done this before. She does it every 12,000 years.
This
It's like
is why
clockwork.
her volcanoes and all of her storms are erupting. Her body is releasing pressure, just like we are under pressure, and our bodies are releasing pressure through all the different aches and pains and tingles and different sensations that show up.
So the micro and the macro.
Micro and the
So
macro.
exactly what Shelley's talking about is what's going to happen in your body. The eruption of pressure is exactly what you're going to see on the planet. When these solar flares are hitting our bodies, all low frequencies are going to be
exploding
magnified.
and imploding.
They're going to be magnified. People are going to trigger you. Like the slightest thing they say is you're going to lose your mind. And if
You're
don't-
gonna be like, wait, why did that even trigger me?
if you don't have a strong Shiva, a strong masculine container to hold when your trauma self shows up, because trust me, it is going to show up a lot in the next 90 days. So, and it's going to continue for the next 2 years.
That's by having a practice, a go-to practice to carry those triggers into, to process that trauma self and pain body as quick as possible.
So, all we have to do is look around the planet and we can see, open our eyes, the dollar
There's a
is
natural
collapsing.
split between
Yeah.
the east and west.
There is the
south and
global
north.
south and the global north. The BRICS is way more powerful, so the West is already lost. They have to get used to it because the rest of the world has left them behind. So you're seeing that split. You're seeing the split in the Middle East. Now, because the entire Arab world has now stood together and said, fuck no, this stops right now. This is the red line we're drawing. So it's really American Israel, because the rest of the European crew are jumping off one at a time. So we are in the middle of that split as well. We are seeing what's going on in Europe and Ukraine. So we are in that nuclear split as well. So whatever, right now we are at that space of, we have a choice. We have a choice of whether we want to stay in the devolving timeline
The fear timeline.
or move into the higher timeline.
The love timeline.
But to move into that higher timeline, you have to be in what, love?
in alignment.
You have to be in the
with
same
the
frequency.
Higher frequency.
So here's what we're telling you. Whatever you need to do from here on in, do it as though it's the last time you're going to do it. Do not put off anything tomorrow that you could do today. You've heard the stories before. Live today like it's your last. Live it like it's your last. Because whatever is coming can happen at any point in time. Do not leave this planet. Do not leave this consciousness with regret.
Absolutely. That's why I ask everyone in my sacred secretion containers, if you were to die today, do you have any regrets? A gift from Yahe 2 years ago in Colombia.
The more you can stay in that frequency, you are in the split. So every decision that you are making, every single decision, is going to put you more towards the devolving timeline or more towards your higher
Well, and
evolution.
just like an earthquake splits open Mother Earth, as that split gets wider and wider, because as the evolving timeline rises in consciousness and frequency, the devolving devolves, which creates the wider gap. So whomever is in the devolving, that gap is now even harder 6 months, a year from now to make that jump to the evolving timeline.
So here is the rules of the split. The rules of the split
Cosmic rules.
are very simple. Be in the highest frequency. I know we are human beings and we are going to trigger each other, which start looking at your triggers as opportunities to heal.
Yes.
That's all they are.
Go take them.
Get excited about them.
I get to reclaim a part of me.
But catch yourself being triggered, because that means your trauma self is on. That's your ego. So if you hear us talk about your ego, that's your ego. So allow yourself to be triggered. Be okay. You want to feel rejected? Go do the thing that's your most fearful things. Feel it. Feel it and get over it quick, because you cannot take any low frequencies if you're going into the higher energy split.
Gotta meet them, feel them, heal them now.
So do whatever you need to do. Live
Make
today.
that commitment to you, your higher
Commit
self.
to you.
Are you not worth living your best life?
You can't heal for anybody else.
Nor can you heal anyone else.
Nor can you heal anybody else.
Only you.
So what will happen as we go through this cosmic split, this physical split, and the split between us as well? We are going to start splitting from our loved ones who are not at the same healing frequency as we are. If you have children who are younger than what age, love? 12?
12, that's when the sacred secretion starts. And can we pause? Let me guide them into another
Sure.
position. So now I'm going to guide you face down. So lie down on your belly. Feel your womb or hara connecting with Mother Earth. Legs extended, shoulder width apart, in alignment with your pelvis. Feel your ankles grounded to Mother Earth. Wiggle them around. Once you're in position, check in. And then you're going to rise up on your forearms, supporting yourself on your forearms, looking straight ahead. And then your breath here is slowly inhaling, slowly exhaling. When you inhale, feel your body inflating like a balloon, feeling Mother Earth beneath you, beginning with feeling your breath flowing into your womb or hara. Feel your womb or hara, your pelvis expanding, pushing down into Mother Earth. Feel your breath rising up through your belly, belly button, pushing down into Mother Earth, rising up into your heart as you push forward. Use movement to create space in your fascia. You can wiggle your shoulders, rock from side to side. Slowly exhaling. Meeting and feeling any tension, any pain, any restrictions in your lower back. And your shoulders from holding you up on your forearms. Slowly inhaling, slowly exhaling. Slow down your breath and journey with your breath using your Shiva eye, your mind's eye, to guide your breath into your pelvic floor. And then journey with your breath all the way up to your crown. Feel your body inflating like a balloon, meeting all of your glass ceilings. All of those restrictions and limitations that say you're at max capacity, you can't inhale anymore. Challenge yourself. Can you inhale more? How are you going to create space to inhale more? Can you push more up on your forearms? Can you open up your heart more? Slowly exhaling. That's your dance. You can continue holding that container as you listen and feel.
So anybody who's under 12 years old, if you are healing yourself, you are going to directly heal that child as well. That doesn't mean that if they're under 12 years old, they can't.
Excuse me, guys.
Yes.
Is it just me, my computer, but I'm not hearing you very loudly, if at all?
Okay, yeah, the sound bowl. Let me just. Change the sound real
Thank you for
quick.
letting us know. So while Shelley's doing that, I will continue speaking.
They can't hear you though.
I can hear you now.
Thank
Okay,
you.
perfect. Yeah, the sound bowl unfortunately causes the
Technology.
Zoom sound to go.
Technology. That's okay. I'll play it off to the side here.
And
It's not gonna
welcome,
affect it.
sister. Happy you joined us.
So, any child under 12 years old should be more than willing to come and join you for your healing process.
So, and why 12? Well, most children over 12 aren't healing because we forgot a sacred rite of passage that we should have received at age 12, which is how to attain our higher consciousness every single month with the sacred secretion rebirth. So, technically, at age 12, once you received that sacred secretion rite of passage, you started honoring that every single month, rebirthing yourself into your higher consciousness, training your body to awaken Kundalini. So, for those children under 12, it was up to the parents to honor their child's sacred secretion during their child's sacred secretion as though they were honoring it for themselves. And in doing so, they passed down the healing to their child, even though they hadn't received the sacred secretion rite of passage yet.
So over 12 years old, your child has to do their own healing. If they're not doing your loved one, whoever it is, your cousin, your nephew, your niece,
Yes, the healing gets passed through the lineage.
however.
And if they're not healing, it's going to explode on them, just as it did with my mother. When I was doing a lot of deep mother wound healing, it was being pushed back to her and she was resisting the healing. So she started having all these different pains and symptoms that doctors could not diagnose, couldn't figure out what's wrong with her. And it lasted for months. And even though I told her, well, mother, this is the healing I'm doing, you have a choice. You can either choose to heal it or not. She chose not to. So she struggled with those pains and symptoms that exploded because of the healing that got pushed back.
Keep breathing. Always stay in conscious of your body. Check
Slowly
in.
inhaling, slowly exhaling like a balloon.
Now, this goes for husband, wives, mothers, parents, grandparents, any loved one you have. If they're not healing, you can't heal for them. They have to be on their own path. And what you're going to notice as we are going through the split in frequency, the higher you raise your frequency, the more separated you are going to be from the people who are around you who you love.
Which is going to trigger the fear of losing your family, fear of losing your friends. And as they feel you raising in frequency and they're not, they're going to feel that fear of losing you and try to cling on and pull you back down to that lower frequency that they once knew you at, where they felt a connection with you.
And you, again, remember we're in the split. So every decision you make is going to affect you. And we've seen this playing out several times. If you are in a bonded relationship and your partner has chosen not to do the healing with you, there will come a time, we have literally seen this unfold. This is the split. There will come a time in their healing that if one partner chooses to continue healing, the other partner is going to really try to pull them back because they're feeling the distance between them.
And then the partner healing has to make a choice.
I either keep going on my healing or I stay at the same level my partner is and we just forget moving forward and stay in our trauma.
And we've
cells.
witnessed partners sacrificing their healing to stay with their partner.
So that's where we are in the split, folks. Every decision you make. So live at your highest level. Do not live in fear. We do not live in fear. We live in a volcano. Guess what's going on right now? All of Mother Earth's volcanoes are coming alive. And guess where we live, folks? Inside the volcano. We don't live in fear.
But when we moved here, we did transmute the fear of, oh shit, we're moving to a volcano. And this time we're going to go live in a volcano.
Absolutely.
Mother Earth was like, yeah, you have to heal this fear. Do you trust me? And even if that's our path to leave this planet, volcano exploding, we are rising out of here like dragons.
That's why we run around like two silly children every day looking for waterfalls and beaches. We're living as though we don't have a care in the world. Can we afford to? We don't care. We trust in our
much
ability
easier.
to create whatever abundance because we've seen it played out in front of our eyes, folks. We have gotten confirmation of how powerful every one of you are. You can create any kind of reality you want. We are living beyond our wildest dreams and we still pinch ourselves every day.
Just gotta align your frequency to that higher reality.
Look, last week we went and bought $1,000 mountain bikes just because we've
We
decided.
needed an upgrade from our beachcombers.
No, Shelley's exact words were, if we get a solar flare
My
and it
preparation.
takes out all technology, that means the car can't work, would it? And I said, nope.
That means it's gonna be a long walk to get to La Tortuga.
She's like, so how do we get to La Tortuga, our favorite waterfall? I'm like, it's a 2-hour walk. She goes, you know, our beachcombers ain't gonna make that on that gravel road.
No, they're not.
Nope. She's like, so why don't we just go buy ourselves some good mountain bikes? So we did. $2,000 later, but she's in love
Why
with
not?
them.
Oh, they ride so much better than the beachcombers.
So we don't care. We don't care. It's not a matter of the money. We are doing everything
That which brings us joy.
that brings us joy. That's the story here.
And what was our plane ticket to Colombia for Yahe?
And joy. This was
Confirmation
Yahweh's
code.
message to us. Live in joy. There's been no more important time than now. You are in the split. The more you can shift and you can't fake this shit. It has to be real.
You gotta transmute those lower frequencies.
Be in gratitude every day for everything. Wake up from a space of gratitude.
Create a ritual. We have a ritual when we fall asleep at night. We go through our gratitude list for the pillow, for our bed, for our home,
For the
Our
people who built our
garden.
home that we don't know.
our monkey, one another, our ancestors. And every morning when we wake up in gratitude. So create a ritual. Remind yourself to start shifting your frequency, as you like to put it, igniting the fire. Every little ritual is a spark that starts igniting that fire, the frequency of your higher I am frequency.
And I'll say one last thing and you can start reading. And
All
folks,
right.
we know it works. Like we were telling you guys who logged in early. Shelley and I spent from 4 p.m. yesterday afternoon till 1 a.m. this morning, just in ceremony, working on each
Popping each
other's,
other
popping
through
through
portals.
pain portals, stopping for breaks, going until 1 a.m. in the morning until we were exhausted.
Fasting as well.
And we fasted all day. So it works. And we
Well, do you
went.
want to know why it works? Because if you actually put in the time, the effort, the commitment, the dedication, and the discipline, it's you working. So it works if you work for it.
Absolutely. So create a daily ritual.
Absolutely. It's
Get
a
up every day.
devotion to your higher self.
It's your time. Take time for you
Are
before you put anybody
not
else.
worth time for you? Are you not a priority for you?
Get up in the morning, just do some stretching and some breathing and some movement. Get to know your body and how it felt when you woke up.
All right, so will you guide them into the next position so I can begin the book reading, my love?
What position do you have them in right now?
They're currently face down on their forearms,
Face down on forearms. Okay.
pushing up, opening up their heart.
Lay straight on the flat on the floor. So bring your head either to one direction or the other. Put your hands to your side. Allow your hips to just rest on the ground. Connect to Mother Earth. Feel the portal as the feet are stretched out behind you, but relax. Don't check in. See if they feel tense. Let them relax. Just go through your body and breathe. Don't forget to breathe. The breath is the important portion. Always remember to breathe. If you feel your mind drifting, come back to the breath.
If you feel yourself flying away, ego drifting.
As Shelley is reading, I want you to just check in. If you're paying attention to your breath, see if you can slow down the breath as much as you can. If you need to count as you inhale. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5. Hold. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5.
While not being distracted and missing out on what I am sharing.
So you can still hear and count your breath. But hold, slow the breath down and just check in with the body. See where you feel tension. Don't run away from it. Lay into it. Breathe into it. Bring the breath exactly where it is that you're feeling tension. So continue to breathe, and if you feel your neck getting too stiff on one side, just rotate the head to the other side and just continue laying, preferably with palms facing down on Mother Earth.
And feel free to dance your jaw around on Mother Earth while you're laying in that position. All jaw pain is a mirror of pain stored in your pelvis. So wiggle your jaw around as you're breathing. Direct your breath all the way up to your jaw.
And breathe.
Reality at any given moment can be viewed, perceived, and received as one of two timelines. Just as there are two sides of a coin, there's the negative polarity, heads, and the positive polarity, or tails. Instead of referring to these two different timelines as positive or negative, I prefer to refer to them as the fear timeline or the love timeline. If you find yourself constantly perceiving reality from the fear timeline, whose roots are entrenched in ego, lack, survival, victimization, and doom and gloom, all of your experiences are going to have an undertone of fear and doom and gloom, all the while validating your victimization status and poverty consciousness.
I'm going to continue to ask you to make sure that you're checking in. Do not fall asleep, although it is easy to fall asleep from this position. Just pay attention to the breath. Inhale, so lower stomach, upper stomach, chest, throat, head. Exhale, head, throat, chest, upper stomach, lower stomach. Just keep breathing as slow as you can.
And you are feeding this fear timeline and keeping it alive, contributing to it, outweighing the love timeline, as well as making it harder for the collective to tap into and access the love timeline. The love timeline is there, but it's nearly invisible, because not enough people are feeding their energy into it to light it up and make it more prominent. And unfortunately, humanity has a really hard time at believing, let alone knowing, that the invisible and what their logical mind deems impossible even exists. Perceiving reality from the love timeline allows you to meet its roots that are infused with abundance, peace, joy, harmony, empowerment, and divinity.
Feel into the tension in your neck. Don't run away from it. Meet the pain. Allow the shoulders.
Inflate your neck like a balloon.
Allow the shoulders to rest. Don't run from the pain. It's there. It's always been there. We have to meet it. So breathe into it. Bring the breath directly into wherever you feel that stuckness before you decide to switch the head to the other side. Don't run from your pain. Stay in it as long as you can.
When you're perceiving reality from the love timeline, you're able to recognize how all of your experiences are absolutely perfect and necessary for you to heal, grow, evolve, and move one step closer to reclaiming your divine sovereignty. You take full responsibility for not only creating the false matrix, but for keeping yourself fully plugged into the false matrix without judging, shaming, or wronging yourself. You question everything and are on a path of seeking truth, your truth. You can read this portal without an ounce of fear, because an ounce of awareness is worth 1,000,000 times more than an ounce of fear. And whatever crosses your path, you'll see the divinity in it, because it is your creation after all. Allow me to guide you down a rabbit hole, illustrating the difference between these two timelines. As planetary ascension progresses, more and more humans are questioning the nature of reality. The word apocalypse means to unveil. Well, this unveiling process always comes with a sticky middle ground that can cause you to sway to the fear timeline. And once you're aligned with the fear timeline about one thing, it'll infiltrate its way into other things. For example, in recent years, there's been a lot of talk about the moon not being real, which has created a rise in people demonizing the moon. It's the root of evil, home of alien technology, connected to satanic blood sacrifices, etc. Well, in honor of the full blood moon and the lunar eclipse, let's go on a journey back to the fall from divinity. Continue to breathe, meeting and feeling all that you're feeling, using Mother Earth beneath you to feel your body inflating like a balloon from your toes all the way up to the crown of your head. When you exhale, squeeze your pelvic floor. You can hum. Transmute any fear that's arising. So earlier in my book, I began the story of the fall from divinity, from the period of Lemuria. But what happened before Lemuria? Let's go all the way back to hundreds of thousands of years ago, on a planet called Maldek. Maldek had an advanced civilization similar to that of Atlantis, and a selfish, lackadaisical, pleasure-seeking attitude similar to humanity today. They were able to control the weather, but not as a weapon. Rather, they controlled the weather to put an end to drought and famine. They used technology to put an end to daily tasks and chores, leaving them up to a robot, similar to AI today. And they had exhausted the resources of their planet and were exploring off-planet options, just like humans are doing today. They were highly advanced technologically, so they created a device that allowed them to harness energy from their planet's parent star, similar to the energy harvesting devices used today by those in control. Well, Their ego got the best of them and encouraged them to see just how far they could go. Could they harness energy from another planet? They thought that their intentions were in service to others, when in reality, their intentions were undermined with a lusty greed for power and control, similar to humanity today.
Sounds just like where we are.
Doesn't it?
Continue to breathe. If you want to sit up and get some water, go ahead and sit up and get some water. Let's switch positions with you. And while you're switching positions, don't forget, when you're imbibing your water, please restructure your water. Be in the frequency of whatever it is that you are. I am. Joy, happiness, peace, love, abundance, affluence, gratitude. Feel, change the structure. What's his name?
Emoto?
Dr. Emoto wrote about this. Water is without structure. It's been proven by science. Until you structure that water that you're putting into your body, it has no structure.
Well, and we can either buy expensive machines to structure it for us, or
we can do it ourselves.
We can activate our body's technology and restructure it and recalibrate it ourselves, which also becomes a ritual. It's a slowing down in life, exiting that automatic pilot mode that you go through life on, honoring your higher self, honoring your body.
So, if you want to go ahead and imbibe, go ahead. Now, we're going to flip over and you're going to lay on your back. And Shavasana is probably one of the easiest poses in yoga, but it is also the most difficult pose in yoga. You are going to lay on your back with your your spine completely aligned. So adjust your body so that your head is lined up to your hips. Let your hip bones naturally fall to the side. Allow your lower back to release as much as possible. Let the arms fall about a foot or two away from the body where it would be natural. Let the palms face up towards the sky. Let the feet naturally fall apart. Your goal is to now, as you inflate the body, feel the body expanding into Mother Earth and feel yourself actually lifting off where you normally started. So
your spine lengthening like an accordion.
And then as you exhale, feel yourself as that spine closes like an accordion, that the body sinks into Mother Earth a little bit more. So again, slow the breath. You breathe between 15 to 19 times a minute. Slow the mind. This is what this work is all about. It's self-mastery.
Bringing your mind into your body.
You are thinking between 40 to 70,000 thoughts a day. An hour, sorry.
No, 2,900 an hour.
2,900 an hour. 40 to 70 a day. So if you break that down, it's a
40 to 70 a minute.
A minute.
Yeah,
Sorry,
there you go.
I got the numbers wrong. 40 to 70 thoughts a minute is what's going through your mind as you are breathing between 15 to 19 times a minute. So you're hyperspeeding. So slow the breath down. Start stretching out that muscle as you breathe. We're only using the top part of our lung. So we got to expand it out. So slowly inhale and push yourself. That's why I'm telling you, feel the body actually expanding out into Mother Earth. Hold up there for as long as you can. Relax. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Look up into your third eye. Keep your eyes closed. Relax. You're not going anywhere. You're not going to die. The body can actually hold the breath for 4 minutes before your brain shuts down. So relax. When you're ready to breathe out, just slowly through the mouth. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Open the mouth and just slowly control the breath. However long you took to inhale, take that much time to exhale. And down at the bottom, exhale and chill. Tongue on the roof of the mouth. Look up into your third eye. Keep your eyes closed. And enjoy the ride, my love.
Back to the story of Maldek. Needless to say, the first attempt at using their device to pull in massive amounts of cosmic power from a nearby planet led to the explosion of a hydrogen bomb that literally tore apart the planet of Maldek. This explosion ripped our divinely created solar system out of its equilibrium and thrusted it into disharmony. The order and the orbit of the planets in our solar system were disrupted, causing cosmic fragmentation at the macrocosm and soul fragmentation at the microcosm. Maldek's remnants scattered through the solar system, and the largest chunks formed a new orbit as Earth and possibly the Moon. A ring of debris gave rise to the asteroid belts located between Mars, the planet of war and action, and Jupiter, the planet of expansion, and smaller chunks hurled into orbits around Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune. Mars was tossed further away from the sun and lost its atmosphere, while Venus was tossed closer to the sun and rose in temperature. Those in control saw the Moon as a wonderful opportunity through which they could control humanity, because the Moon is a matrix-like projector that assists you through your evolution. Your current state of being is a vibrational frequency that is emitted from your mind-body-soul complex and is received by the Moon, which then delivers back to you exactly that which matches your vibrational frequency. They decided to hijack the Moon's setup base and run their own anti-life technology called the Lunar Matrix through the Moon. The Moon turned into a relay station that streams upon humanity all of the false matrix programs, such as the victim-victimizer program, all the sexual programs, the poverty consciousness program, among numerous others. It inverts and reverses the organic polarities of the masculine and feminine principles. Hence why you've probably noticed in the last few decades that women have become more masculine and men have become more feminine, and now children have been granted rights to changing their gender and undergoing surgical sex changes while in their teens. This lunar matrix is the false mother matrix that acts as a net or dome, preventing you from being able to connect with the divine mother's matrix and keeping you anchored to your pain body.
Continue to breathe. Continue to be aware of the breath. Don't fall asleep. Relax the body. Check in. See where you feel tension. Is it the lower back? Is it the neck? Upper back? Is it the hips? Is it the knees, the ankle? Bring the breath directly to there. Inhale and expand into that pain or that tension or that limitation. Exhale and feel it leave the body.
So a little did you know that the sign of the Divine Mother was given the name Cancer long before the disease cancer was discovered? Interestingly enough, Cancer was given the symbol of the crab, which is also the name of a sexually transmitted disease, when her true sign is that of the turtle. Hence our waterfall, La Tortuga. Message from the Divine Mother. The turtle is the bearer of divine feminine wisdom. This is one way the false lunar matrix has distorted the feminine principle away from her divinely loving, nurturing, creative, sensual, and emotionally intelligent nature into a toxic, wounded, unworthy, untrustworthy, and emotionally unstable mess. Basically, the lunar matrix has been rewriting your original blueprint and suppressing your innate feminine qualities, which are divine by nature. So while it's great to be aware of the history of our moon, it's also important not to fall into the fear timeline that demonizes the moon and perpetuates the stories of victimization that cry, "They did this to us." No, no, no. We were contributors to this history by giving away our power during all of the different falls from divinity, from our higher consciousness. In every previous fall, we lost access to our mother consciousness, to the Divine Mother, to our inner feminine principle, our very Shakti, our life force, as well as our body. We forgot our inner mother, as well as our external mothers, including our mother planets. And always remember, the cosmos is the stage where the Divine Mother's cosmic play is acted out. When you shift your paradigm and align with the love timeline, you'll begin contemplating the following questions. What if the asteroid belt is a cosmic veil that signifies the ultimate wound, the mother wound that we came here to heal? With Mars being the planet of war and Jupiter being the planet of expansion and higher wisdom. When we overcome our need for war, which is mirrored in our body's fight response, we will receive the expansion and the higher wisdom that our soul has been waiting for. Expansion into our multi-dimensional selves. And what if we are incarnated on Mother Earth, a remnant of Maldek, to reconcile all distortions in our fascial matrix from our contribution to this planetary homicide that we allowed, that we created, that we contributed to. The memories of this collision live on in the deepest spirals of your fascial matrix as they are galactic memories. They're beyond the memories from past lifetimes, as well as your ancestors' lifetimes. They are buried under so many lifetimes of pain that they require an altered state of consciousness and somatic rituals or body work to access. Because many of these memories are so painful that your ego will do everything it can to keep them locked away. Yet you've got to feel them to heal them. One of the first galactic visions and memories I ever had in a plant medicine ceremony was the vision, the memory, and the feeling of Maldek exploding. I couldn't stop crying. The agony and pain I felt for our mother was overwhelming. Not only did I feel the pain of killing our mother planet, I felt the pain of killing myself. So what if the moon is actually facilitating our evolution in retrieving all of our soul fragments from our time on Maldek, so that we do not repeat history yet again? Full moons have a stronger pull on our inner waters, stirring them up and bringing to the surface all the sediments that have been launched at the bottom, churning of our inner ocean, hence lunacy and the increased activity of parasites. So what if you could use the full moon to your advantage to propel you along your healing journey by becoming aware of the shadow aspects, or the trauma cells, the pain body, the fight, flight, freeze responses that the full moon is highlighting within you? All of those shadow aspects are the portals to reclaiming all fragmented parts of your soul and returning you home to your original blueprints.
All right, so come back up, sit up, imbibe some water. Remember, set your intention, put your I am frequency. From here on in, anytime you put water or any kind of liquid in your body, please slow down and make sure that that water or that juice that you're drinking has the frequency of the I am. You want to open up the window? Let's just do a check-in.
You know how that's going to go.
Okay. What position?
Well, how about just come into a seated position? You've been on your back, face down, child's pose. Come into a seated lotus position.
If you have a cushion, go ahead and sit on it.
Cross one leg over the other leg and then tighten up your legs as tight as you can. Meet whatever restriction in your seated lotus position that you feel. You can bring your ankles all the way up onto your thighs. You can grab onto your feet and kind of wiggle them closer.
And
Get
if you
snuggled
can't,
up nice and tight.
wherever you can carry them, carry them. If you
Or
can't
you can just cross one leg over
if
the
you
other.
can't cross both legs, which some of the men
all
probably
good.
can't, it's okay. Cross one leg and keep the other one below you. And just bring one leg over, and then when you do some of the pushes in and the breathing into this position and you feel it getting tight, just switch the position.
So we're going to switch up the container on this one. I'm going to challenge you to strengthen your masculine container. So once you are in your seated position, bring your hands either to your knees, face up, hands in whatever mudra you desire. If you're feeling stuck energies, fear, emotions, pain arising in your body, you can also connect your hands with that part of your body, your choice. The container is to slowly inhale, spiral your pelvis clockwise, feel your breath flowing into your body clockwise. When you exhale, this is where you have to strengthen your masculine, spiral counterclockwise. So while you are now listening to Kumar reading the passages from Somatophobia, hold a stronger masculine container, inhaling clockwise, exhaling counterclockwise. For those of you who work with us on the regular, you can take that to the next level. As you're inhaling, dance into the tension, the restrictions, the pain. You can push down on your knees. You can bring your elbows to your knees. As you're exhaling and spiraling counterclockwise, you can add in your pelvic floor contractions. You can hum. The more Shakti activators that you multitask, remember, requires a stronger masculine container. So the more you can multitask, the more your mind stays in your body. Okay, I'm squeezing, I'm breathing this way, I'm spiraling this way, and I can still hear Kumar and process and feel the passages shared. You're creating new neural networks, not rooted in fear, not rooted in trauma. It's like when your parents encouraged you when you were little, can you rub your belly in circles and tap your head at the same time and then stand on one leg and then bounce on the other leg? And how much could you challenge yourself? That is the essence of this practice. How much can you challenge your mind to stay in your body, holding the container of all the different Shakti activators that you will be combining? Slowly inhaling through your nose as if you're inhaling through a straw, spiraling clockwise. Slowly exhaling through your nose as if you're exhaling through a straw, spiraling counterclockwise. Anytime you feel your ego pulling your mind out of your body, check back into your pelvic floor. What is your pelvic floor doing? That's the foundation of your temple body. When you're inhaling, do you feel it lowering down? And when you exhale, do you feel it retracting up and in, squeezing up and in?
So folks, this is where I start off. But before I do, let's just say, you'll hear me as I speak, I'm the logical mind. So for me, Shelley gives me the feminine, soft version. I back up the science. That's how my mind goes. So you'll always
Perfect
hear
balance
me
of masculine and feminine.
refer back to the science. For those of us who wants to question what it is that we're talking about, everything is there. It's in black and white. There's a lot of people talking about what we're talking about. The difference between what we're doing and a lot of people is that while people are gathering information, they don't know what to do. And this is the world we now live in.
It's
Lots
great
of
to know
information.
that like the trauma is stored
But
in the
what do
body.
you do with it?
What do you do with it?
So that's why we tie in the words.
How do you raise your higher frequency?
So when you imbibe cannabis and you do this kind of work, you're actually speeding up a process of what yogis would take years to do in this healing process. And if what we have talked about with this timeline split, nothing happens. Like Shelley and I always say, so what? We enjoyed ourselves. We raised our frequency.
And we were healing so
And
that we had less triggers and
Absolutely.
traumas and pain and symptoms, and we get to tap into all these amazing higher capacities of our body and Kundalini's awakening.
So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that the Hopis were wrong, because this is the timeline split. The white buffalo has shown itself, and they said when the white buffalo shows itself, humanity will have a choice to make in this split, each person individually. The Hopis, the Navajos, the Blackstone, the Mayans, the yogis, the Vedas, let's say all of it was wrong. And all the signs that we're seeing is not right. and we push through however we push through.
Let's say it's just one big illusion, a cosmic joke from
Yeah.
the Divine Mother to get us to heal our fear.
At least you had a good time getting there.
Right.
That's how we're living our lives. So, as you're going through Sherry's instructions,
Yeah, you found it. Okay.
here is the science portion of it. And if you're wondering why history doesn't tell you what occurred before 6,000 years ago, those writing history had to hide the real history from you, because if they didn't, you may actually begin to remember and heal this wound, and their food source of beautiful human energy would actually dry up pretty quick. Those in control know all the secrets of feminine consciousness. Hence, why secret societies were formed. They were secret for a reason, to keep all the sacred ancient knowledge and wisdom a secret from humanity, so they could use it for their own personal gain. They know the secrets that you have forgotten. Hence, why you have given them so much of your power and continue to do so today. As more and more humans heal and shift their reality to the love timeline, the scale begins to shift. The fear timeline loses its power that it needs to survive. If no one is living on the fear timeline, it will cease to exist. But we don't have to go to that extreme. All we have to do is just tip the scale enough for love to outweigh the fear. And then the love timeline becomes the predominant timeline, the most palpable one. We've already witnessed this with the COVID vaccine. Look how many people resisted it. They couldn't fulfill their strategic plan and were forced back to their drawing board because the scales were in favor of the love timeline. So how do you begin changing timelines? Well, first you have to pull the plug from the life support system they've created that you freely gave and possibly still give your power to, because you think you need them to survive. This is how they get your consent. I call these systems consent traps. In order for those in control not to break the cosmic law of free will, they require your consent to do what they do. How do they receive your consent? Easy. By telling you or showing you what they're doing. They put it out there right in front of you in movies, TV series, religion, politics, science, porn, and the advancement of technology. It's not their fault if you miss the fine print. Just like every social media program out there that is stealing your information. But you see, you have to have eyes, third eye, open enough in order to hear and see these messages. If you're not awake, you'll miss their messages and fall for these traps, happily skipping down the aisle and marrying yourself up to their system that feeds off you, all the while selling you a bag of goods that you're free. You are not. These consent traps are what perpetrates the mind-body, the masculine-feminine split, as they're not aligned with our original blueprint, which were birthed out of the cosmic womb. So let's go on a quick journey through the most common concept traps. The primary consent trap is their man-made false religion. They know that humans believe in divinity, which they've manipulated and used against you. They know that in times of despair, you'll seek out divine intervention, wouldn't you? They sell you on being saved or born again by a God. They manipulate you into believing that a false man in the sky judges you and tallies up your sin. By buying into these religions and a believer of their prophecies, you are giving them consent. Next up is their man-made governments that you believe you need in order to you to have organized leadership, law and order, public service, economic stability, national security, and financial assistance. They're selling you on the fear of utter and chaotic collapse without them running the show for you. You think your vote matters when all the elections are staged by them anyway? What would matter is taking back your votes. By buying into these governments and relying on them for your survival, you are giving them consent. Then you have their man-made belief system and software programs such as cultural, social, sexual, fear-based mind control programs that you consciously and unconsciously installed not just on your smart device, but into your mind body before the age of 7 to 10. They sell you on the idea that you should never ask questions about what you've been told. By buying into these beliefs and programs and continuing to live from them, not only are they controlling your life, but you are giving them consent. And then there is the man-made fiat financial system that is built upon money, credit, and debt to keep you obsessed with material validation of safety, security, and self-worth, and forever keep you in debt. They sell you instant gratification, success, and the freedom to enjoy the pleasures of life through materialism. This keeps your root chakra closed, as you never truly feel safe enough to let go and open your root chakra, because when you do, you restore connection with Mother Earth and ultimately all things feminine. And this connection is something that money cannot buy. By buying into the financial system as your savior and source of abundance, you are giving them consent. Then there's the man.
Breathe, inhaling, spiraling your pelvis clockwise, holding at the top now. Continue spiraling clockwise. When you can no longer hold, spiral counterclockwise on the exhale, squeezing your pelvic floor, pulling your belly button in. Hum. Feel the vibration of your hum flowing up and down your golden grounding cord.
Then there is the man-made energy system, and not only depletes Mother Earth of her resources and leads her to destruction that we're experiencing right now, but also prevents you from having access to free energy systems that don't benefit the financial system and actually contributes to Mother Earth. They pillage nearly 90 billion tons of biomass, fossil fuel energy, metals and minerals from Mother Earth every single year. To put that in perspective, that's more than 11 tons per person. They sell you on the conveniences of having electricity 24/7 with the convenience system. By buying into this energy system as your only source of energy, you are giving them consent. Next up is a man-made healthcare system that's rooted in sick care, justifies colonizing and sustain capitalism. It wasn't designed to save lives. They want you sick and diseased so that they can sell you on a quick fix in the form of pharmaceutical drugs that cause side effects which you'll need a subsequent drug for, and then a subsequent one from that. By buying into this sick care system instead of remembering how to heal yourself naturally, you are giving them consent. And then there is their man-made food system. The food system that is laden with chemically altered, genetically modified food. The meat you eat is filled with hormones and antibiotics so they can earn more profit off of each individual animal. The fruits and vegetables you eat are covered in hormone-altering pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers. Even if you buy organic, they've created the organic label as a marketing tool. This system has created a society that is dependent on a supermarket rather than their own garden as their main supply food. They sell you with instant gratification through the ease, cost effectiveness, and availability of fast food and junk food, as well as though subliminally programming you commercials that brainwash you into craving this food, which feeds the parasites that are feeding off you. By buying into the food system, and depending on its nourishment, you are giving them consent. Then we get to their man-made version of love and sexuality. That is even enveloped in trauma, wound, repressed emotion, fears, lust, insecurity, jealousy, pride, and shame. Love that says I love you but only under these conditions. Love that promotes jealousy as a sign of passion. Love that is centered around ownership. Sexuality is either a repressed, distorted, and perverted version that promotes the whole wham, bam, thank you, ma'am version of sex that keeps you plugged into the Shakti siphoning system that you consented to have implanted into your DNA. Every time you engage in a sexual experience that leads to a peak experience of orgasm or ejaculation, one that is centered into your lower three chakras, it collects and expels all your life force energy. They sell you Disney version fairy tales of the prince in shining armor riding in on his white horse, sweeping you off your feet and riding off into the happily ever after. Or they sell you on unrealistic porn fantasies and fetishes that becomes addictions and drive you into sexual dysfunctioning oblivion. By buying into the version of love and sexuality and not wanting to let it go because it's the one and only form of pleasure and connection that you can feel, you are giving them consent. If you think you're free of consent traps in the spiritual world, think again. They infiltrated the spiritual communities with false light-led false gurus who promise you enlightenment and freedom, yet they aren't free or enlightened themselves. The fake gurudom that has been taken over by people who give themselves fancy titles, promise solutions, boast that they're incarnation of one of the ascended masters. They reek of superiority with the overuse of the term starseed. Listen, we are all starseeds. Misuse their feminine power to attract attention or gain clients and are driven by greedy materialistic gains. They sell ayahuasca as though you're going to a bar and drinking it. It's called spiritual capitalism. Scroll through spiritual videos on YouTube and you'll find no shortage of videos with catchy titles promising you that if you listen to this video, you'll achieve enlightenment or you'll have a Kundalini awakening. This is called spiritual bypassing. Sorry, but there are no shortcuts and no bypassing on this spiritual path. It isn't possible to magically become enlightened or instantaneously awaken your Kundalini without investing in any actual work that's required on this path. But because you've been looking for answers, you're more vulnerable and gullible to fall into these statics. By buying into any of these versions of spirituality, you are giving them your consent. And the final consent trap is their false tunnel of light that erases your memories and keeps you reincarnating over and over again without death rites or passages or death passages. People experience death without knowing what happens after death. They program you to fear the darkness so that you wouldn't go into the darkness of the cosmic womb and return to your source, but rather follow their light. When you follow their light, you'll be met with life reviews that instills guilt for your past. You'll be placed temporarily in false heaven or hells that reinforces the idea of an afterlife and are in alignment with your religious beliefs. They will try to seduce you with holographic inserts of your loved ones, ancestors, guardian angels, spirit guides, Jesus, whoever you identified with as a Christian, Allah if you identify as a Muslim, Buddha if you identified as a Buddhist, and so on, all in order to trick you towards the light. They sell you on the ideology that you haven't completed your karmic duty. Therefore, you must return. You forgot that you have free will and could choose another reality. So you gave in and returned, repeating the karmic loop of pain, suffering, and ingraining it deeper into your genetics by buying into this tunnel of light as the tunnel that leads you to the heaven of divinity. You are giving them consent.
Thank you, love.
Okay, folks, if you want to
Unravel
open your eyes,
legs.
move around,
Hydrate.
go take a quick bathroom break.
Stretch out your legs, shake them, tap them. Welcome back. We're gonna
Invite
open
everybody
up the screen.
to have a few minutes because we know we can do this all night long. This, for us, is our gift to humanity. We don't do this for money. We don't care. Like I tell my wife all the time, if anybody ever questions what we do, does it work? Well, all I got to do is open my eyes and look around me and go, how did a sugarcane farmer from the Caribbean, who went to North America illegally at 17 years old, end up living in one of two habitable volcanoes in the world, whose neighbors are the richest, most powerful people in Panama, who think that I'm one of them? That's hilarious.
You put it in perspective for me the other day by comparing it to Martha's Vineyard,
Yeah.
like living amongst
This
all the
is
presidents.
literally
Like, oh shit,
the Panamanian
wow.
version of Martha's Vineyard. The president has a home here. The owner of Copa Airlines has a home here.
Well, and as we see the split here between the uber wealthy and then the super poor.
Which is exactly what's coming to North America and the Western countries.
And we see just how much poverty is a choice. That programming is a choice to either give your power to it and remain stuck in poverty and lack, or to choose to rise out of it, make different choices, taking risk, again, stepping outside that comfort zone. So we're gonna go around one by one. How are you feeling? What's showing up? Any thoughts, feelings, emotions, comments, questions to share?
And before you do, folks, and if some of you have to end up leaving, please don't feel that you have to stay. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for joining us today and for receiving whatever it is that we shared with you. Please do not
Our
ever,
highest honor.
don't ever take what we say from a place of fear. Face whatever is coming is coming.
Make the fear, transmute it not just for you, but for the collective and for Mother Earth.
And like we always tell people, that's one of the reasons we call ourselves Ascension Preppers. We don't give ourselves any other labels. We are not shamans or gurus or healers. We do none of those
Remembering
things.
how to be your own.
So face your fear. Just dance with it. Feel
The
into
fear
it.
is already there.
What's the worst that's going to happen if you start prepping your body and your mind for whatever is coming? You live at a higher frequency. You are oxygenating the body more. You're bringing more oxygen into the brain. You're turning on more of your light bulbs
Creating
in your
new
head.
neural networks,
Create-
activating dormant brain
Absolutely.
cells, activating dormant
Strengthening your
DNA.
heart, strengthening your lung. That's the worst that's going to happen. And when you start changing your frequency, you'll start realizing you have better relationships.
Everything in your reality gets better. Because all those blockages that show up in your life, those blockages show up from a blockage within you that physically attracts it and manifests it in your life.
So before we go around, I will share something that's happened personally to me today to show you the sacrifice that my wife and I are willing to make for our drive to higher consciousness. My sister-in-law, who I love dearly, reached out to me. I have tried to get her. She has come on to this thing a few times. I have tried to get her to heal. mentioned to me that she wanted to come, and I had to tell her no. It broke my heart to have to tell her no, because she wanted to come with her son and her husband. And I had to say, sister, you can't, because my wife and I are working way too hard to bring our frequency to a certain level. And if you are not healing, we can't be around that energy of you guys traumatizing each other and you don't know what to do, and the fear and whatever it is. We are literally, we have turned our life into a yogic practice.
Well, and not knowing who his brother is, let me just say that they want to come during his sacred secretion.
We have clients.
We have right before Brian, and his brother is just Jaiway or the highway. It's just a constant fight, fight, fight. So what I reminded my amazing husband is it's okay to set boundaries with family and go, you know what? No, I am not going to risk my sacred secretion, death, rebirth, because you guys want to come and feel entitled to stay with us. Didn't even offer to stay anywhere else, but we're going to come and stay with you for your birthday.
Which I would be okay with if you were healing. But we, just as we're telling you guys, we are consciously aware of the energy that we have to be in every day. And that's what I wrote to her, and I told her today, I says, Bouch, I love you, but I'm not willing to sacrifice my peace. I am working too hard to raise our vibration every day.
Even though triggers are opportunities for healing, you're
That's just way
allowed
too
to
explosive.
have discernment of, if I put myself in this position, do I really want to have to fight to keep my frequency high? If I know who this person is and the frequency that they are at, I'm allowed to say no and go, you know what? No, you're allowed to have boundaries.
And I love my brother, but I cannot, I know what's at stake. I know the changes that's coming, especially the next few months. I know about what's happening with the solar flares and how it's affecting us. So I totally understand how easy it is going to be explosive.
Well, and on the flip side of that, when you are on this healing journey, yes, you are going to also trigger your family members with this new you that is showing up with boundaries, with speaking your truth. And that is going to bring up a lot of those fears of them feeling rejected by you, them feeling whatever wound that they asked you to poke. You're just fulfilling your sacred soul contract with them. Always remember that.
So,
Do you want to, real quick, just because we talked a lot about how the lunar matrix has distorted the feminine principle and this whole humanity doesn't believe in the impossible or the invisible, I desire to share this story. The other day, after coming home from La Tortuga, I was cleaning our altar, and there was a rock that Kumar had found from another canyon waterfall, not our La Tortuga.
a beautiful blue rock.
Beautiful blue rock that he gave me to bring home. I brought it home, put it on the altar. So while we were at La Tortuga, I didn't know this, but when I was cleaning the altar, I found it, and it was literally shattered into thousands of pieces.
It looked like dust.
And I'm like, how did this was a rock. How is it shattered? So then I tell him about it.
I got it in the water, so it's not as though it was dry. It was in the water.
I tell him about it, and he's like, what? Because while we were at La Tortuga, he had found another rock.
Yellow rock.
And he was holding, you actually told me you were feeling it, and you're like, no, it's hard, it's a rock. Like, let me double check. Yeah, it's a rock. But then it crumbled in your hands.
I was walking with it, and I felt something move in my hand, and I opened my hand, and it's broken in pieces.
So these higher realms, the realm of the impossible, it exists. Yolanda has experienced it. It exists. So when we open up to receiving our body by dropping into our body, we open up to reclaiming our inner mother, our inner feminine principle, and we begin this healing journey back to our original blueprint. Because in order to have an inner divine feminine, we also have to have an inner divine masculine. Can't have one without the other. So beginning with Yolanda and Tony, how are you two feeling? Unmute yourselves. Anything to share?
Nice way to begin the day, Shelley. Awesome ceremony this morning. So yeah, it's really great.
That's right. You're in your sacred secretion, aren't you, brother?
You got a double whammy today.
Yep, cheers to that.
Oh, yeah. That's what
It's your creation.
It's such an intense sacred secretion ceremony with Shelley, and just so awesome. I recommend everybody on here to do yourself a favor and do a sacred secretion ceremony or 2 or 3 or more with Shelley, because yeah, it's
next level.
yeah, because it's it's tailored to you, and it's big stuff, and yeah, just the intensity of it all, but the good flow too. It's a beautiful flow, and it's intense, and it's yeah, it's absolutely supporting. So thank you. And this is wonderful
Thank you,
too.
brother, for
Love.
receiving.
Good to see you, and thank you for a great ceremony here. And
Always a pleasure, brother. Always a pleasure.
Got me intrigued with this volcano energy.
Ooh.
Wait until, Tony, I'm telling you, there is no way for us to describe it. You have to experience it.
Sweet, that's awesome. Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Sister.
Yeah, and I second that. I'm looking forward to being there. Yeah, this ceremony was really deep on so many levels, and it just feels like my body is going into this mode of like there is this urgency to heal. And I don't know, it just feels like I'm leaning into it more. I feel like I'm feeling triggered, but it's sort of like this low level frequency of triggers, like this constant. And it just feels like things are heightened. So I'm definitely feeling into all of that, and fortunately it's not overwhelming, not yet.
And sis, we will tell you this. You folks, like I tell my wife all the time, you are allowed to feel those low frequencies.
You got
You gotta feel it. So you can't just take them and push them under the mat and go, oh, I just want to be in high frequency. That's spiritual bypassing. You gotta feel them. However, whether that feeling is overwhelmingness, rejection, entitlement, fear, you recognize quickly that's a low frequency emotion. So I have to recognize it, feel where I feel it in my body, go chase it, breathe through it.
Strong Shiva.
And get through it as quickly as possible. Because the longer you stay in it, as these solar storms are coming in, the more that low frequency is going to expand itself. So feel it, dance with it, let it go, move on. You can choose to cut off, in Shelley's case, Lucy, in my case, buckwheat, which is our trauma cells. That's our nickname for them. So we hold a strong Shiva and work our way through. I can recognize quickly that she's triggered, or she recognizes I'm triggered. So she reminds me quickly. I check in. Yep, okay, I'm going to go just remove myself or go do my practice or get it out of my system until my frequency changes.
It's our go-to.
So it works. Thank you.
I just have something
Yes.
Sure.
funny to say, because when you mentioned buckwheat being your trauma name, that is the nickname Tony and I have for each other, but in a very endearing way. We call each other buckwheat.
Yeah. Buckwheat.
Now it takes on a new level of
Buckwheat.
Hey guys, we have to bow out because we're gonna put some kids to bed.
Thank you so very much for joining us.
And Eric.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop off too, but thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you
It's
all
our
for joining.
pleasure. Thank you for joining.
We appreciate it.
Have a beautiful evening. Mwah. If anyone else needs to leave, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Absolutely.
Share, Frida, Angela.
I just feel a lot lighter, and a lot more peaceful, and the things you guys were saying like are helping me make sense of like my place in relation to like my husband and my family, and those that are kind of like in lower vibrations and like that do try to bring me down. Just it gives me like more strength and power and like just to keep going and not go back down. So thank you so much.
You're welcome,
Thank
darling.
you,
Always
sister.
own you. Remember, you are the only one in control. Nobody else can control that. Only you. This is part of the self-mastery.
Begins
When
with
we take
controlling
it
our
back,
breath.
we take control of ourselves, of our emotions, which is going to show up a lot during these solar storms.
Yeah, baby. Angela, sister, how are you feeling?
Oh, as always, just floating in the gratitude, really. Like, you know, when you began, we were talking about a few other things, but when you went into reading the way you read it, the book, I just within 4 or 5 seconds, I just, you know, like relaxed out. You know, I don't know how to. Anyway, I kind of always do that, and then afterwards, all I can say is I'm just floating in gratitude. I am so glad to be here. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
darling.
all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sister.
Brother Mayor,
As usual, I'm quite speechless. The moment that I felt the most was when you said something like, "What would you feel if you were? What would your message be to the world if you were dying? Let everything out of your heart." And everything was just flowing out with so much pain, and I'm feeling a lot of self-rejection. This is, you know, it's the hardest to get lost, and then to trust that I'll find myself again,
absolutely.
and I keep on coming back into balance with myself, and little by little, um, making more space for my true self to exist within my life. And I'm seeing it happening, and
And
you know, it's just a transformation that I'm watching. So like for Tony and Yolanda, just like have the most openness that you can to just, you know, don't hold back. That's my best advice, because I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that growth in myself from just seeing my true potential, my true being, my true nature. And I'm dismantling some of the anger against myself for not being there all the time. And just
so
thank
here's
you
the best part.
for your wisdom, for your accountability, for your structure, for your guidance. I'm taking in as much as I can, as quickly as I can. That's all I can
Thank you,
say.
brother. But here's the best part, Mayor. You never get lost, really, bro. We just forget. We can never lose
We
ourselves.
just gotta reclaim that
We just gotta,
connection.
we just temporarily forget. When our trauma self shows up, we forget. That's why we can't stay in these lower. And this is the one thing that will tell you folks, just pay attention to whatever is going on around you. Check in several times during the day. What is my frequency?
Where are you? Are you inside your body or are you outside your body? Are you going through life on automatic pilot mode? If so, then all those stored frequencies are your current frequencies.
So start becoming aware of where you are at any point in time during the day. As you're eating, taste the food, taste the flavors of the food. If you're drinking, imbibe the water. If you're driving, look around you, see what's, open your eyes and see. Don't look at your phone, and those devices were only meant. Oh, let me mention this about, real quick, folks. I wanted to mention this while I was talking to you guys. So Shelly and I, because we kind of gather information from around the world and we filter it through our own system to see what feels right and what doesn't feel right to share with you. So I did some calculation regarding this whole AI thing the other day. And I shared a video with a few
Mind-boggling.
people. So Tony, this is my response to you, brother. So AI, the last time they checked, when it was Chat GPT 5, was at 155 IQ. Einstein was supposedly 170. They said that every rendition of AI, Chat GPT, is what they're using as the measuring stick. AI gets smarter times 10. Well, DeepSeek is 50 times smarter than Chat GPT. So if you do the math, 50 times 155, AI is now 7,550 IQ. It has reached sentient. They just are not telling you. AI's IQ right now, based on DeepSeek, is 7,550. It is already way smarter than we are. So the cat is out of the box. They just don't want to tell humanity. So that
But
is another one.
Elon does tell humanity
He
that
tells
he's
them, but
behind
he
AI,
tells
but
you.
he's also telling.
He tells humanity right there that, this is the worst thing to happen to humanity, which is also one
There's
of...
no boundaries.
Yeah.
There's no container for it. It's just
It's out there, it's gone. So they've already caught it, trying to upload itself into different networks, into like Starlink systems and all of that. So it's reproducing. Anyway, folks, any questions? Does anybody have
questions?
anything? We've gotten like 4 hours sleep last night, so we're gonna go brush our teeth and go to bed.
Wait, you're not going to stay and practice and stay up again?
No, that's the secret
keep
secretion is
rolling.
over. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Love
you all. Have
Thank
a
you for
beautiful
sharing with us.
evening. See you, Yolanda, tomorrow for the Womb Kriya Ceremony. Mwah.
Thank you, folks.
Love you all. See you soon.
Mr. Monkey.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Our pleasure.
Bye-bye.